That's a part. You
Interesting. I
should be
like
a
those
movie
two.
critic,
Yeah,
man.
I like those two you've just used there. Unrewarding. Yeah. Well, James, what about you?
Wait a second? Are you on that guy? Are you on that similar level
No,
as
not
Tom?
not not quite that level. No, no. I thought it's very warm. It's very charming. It was a very humble story. I'm with Tom in what he says is like I bet it works brilliantly as a book. And having finished the film, I think after finishing that film, I thought I'd really be interested in actually reading the book. But whether it does work as a film, it's fine. It lacks that punch that I think any major film now really requires. It doesn't have any serious sucker punch or twist or anything like that that will really. It's a steady ebb and flow that
Oh,
sort
it's
of
pretty
it
fun.
needs to an
I
end.
don't think films need
I
that.
think that's the point. Yeah. That's why I quite
I think
enjoy
that's
it,
the charm.
especially-
That's why it's so. That's why it was so good. Is because I think you mentioned it's humble. Like I think it was just very, very real, and the emotions in it were real, and the struggle in it was so real. Like this struggle wasn't like melodrama at all. It was just like the kind of thing that you can imagine having a relationship with your brother and seeing him kind of descending into a chaos, but you love him at the same time, and you just don't want to. You don't want to get into a fight with him. Like that was the one and only fight they ever had at the start, but you keep telling someone, but they're just not willing to accept it, and they still go on and destroy themselves. That was heartbreaking. I thought I loved it for that reason.
But does that work as a film? Does it work as a film?
I thought the idea that James is expressing is, the idea about, the people that need help the most are the ones that refuse it. That for me was heartbreaking to hear on its own. Like that was, a punch, as in another film, a twist might be. That's what I needed from that film, was that kind of,
But from the start, they
this is how it is, and it's a bit depressing. It's a bit tragic, and I took that with me. Like I actually was quite moved by those scenes. And so when the end came around, and there was that last scene when he's in the river as an old bloke, and he's talking very poetically.
Very. That's taken. That dialogue, by the way, is taken. That monologue's taken from the book. Yeah.
Straight out of the book. Yeah.
Straight out of the book.
Yeah, that was the kind of emotional wallop of the film for me. And so you're saying that when it got to that scene, I'm interested. Tom or Guy or whoever else, did you not feel anything in that scene?
No, I was immensely moved by that final scene. Absolutely. I'm talking prior to that scene. I think.
yeah.
I think possibly Paul's Paul's ending was slightly rushed, but not. I don't think Paul's ending was powerful enough. I don't think the ending itself was immensely powerful. I was really moved by it, and the dialogue, like when he says, "I'm haunted by waters and stuff like that." So it's amazing stuff. But it's the stuff beforehand. It builds. It starts to build when you start finding out about Paul's debt and his gambling habits and all that kind of stuff. But I think ultimately the conclusion just before that final scene just falls a little bit short.
Yeah, I think it's the predictability of it. I think the predictability of almost this nihilistic fate at the end, that because you can see it coming from about 2/3 into the film. You know it's lingering. I just feel it lacks something because of that. And I thought the father was excellent. I thought the mother was excellent. Brad Pitt was excellent, but I just found Norman as a character, and you can't criticize it because it's a true story. So obviously, they're acting and directed to portray a true story, but I just don't think that, because obviously this story and this message we replicated so many times in real life, that this is the story to tie a movie to, in my opinion, for it.
Your statement earlier, you said like the sign of a good film is when you gain something from watching it. Like I think you do gain something. You gain something different from watching any type of film. You don't watch a Marvel film to gain knowledge and sort of perspective on your life. You watch it just because you want to be taken away and you want to watch an action or something like that. I think a film like this just makes you aware of things that are relatable, because, and as you say, it's a true story, so you can relate to it even if you're not out fly fishing. It's real struggles that like you can actually relate to. Not so much gambling problems and that sort of thing, but like just interactions with your family and with and the way they play with that is quite nice. But I think the whole thing at the start where they're literally fighting, and then they both lie down as kids, and they're like, "What do you want to be? I want to be a boxer. I want to be a boxer." And then
about being a minister.
And then the dad right at the end, he says, "Tell me more about it. Tell me more about it." And it says, "Well, he had all the bones in his right hand broken, i.e., he went out fighting, and that was all his dad wanted to know."
Oh, I didn't even clock that.
Yeah,
very well. That could have been because that's your card dealing hand. That could have been something to do with him playing poker and they smashed it.
That's interesting. Or even that's your real hand or something. Like there's a few different ways you can take that.
I didn't identify any of the symbolism behind that at all. That was quite naive.
Nice, Jem.
No, that's interesting, Jem, man. I rate that.
I thought,
is that the hand he does all of his fly fishing with as well?
No, but like when they're kids, they're saying, "Oh yeah, he's the toughest bloke you know," and they're always, he's always standing up for his American Indian girlfriend, and and they're always saying he's a fighter, and then he's broken all the bones in his hands. We think, well, they're not using boxing gloves or something, so you probably would break bones in your hands if you're punching people.
Yeah, I like that connection.
Yeah.
All right. When I heard it, I took it as he didn't leave without a fight kind of thing, or like maybe he gave his own before he went, and that was maybe what he needed to hear, what the father might have needed to hear, although he kept asking for more.
All right, should we rate this one? Liam, closing thoughts, and what score would you give it?
What would I give it?
James, what would you give it? Liam, have a think. James, what would you give it?
Jim?
Well, you two are used to this.
I would give it a...
Cheers, Jem.
We're
Yeah.
doing these out of 10 or out of 5?
We're doing IMDb scores.
We're doing points. We're doing points as well. So
okay, yeah.
IMDb ratings, yeah.
A 7.8. 7.8, yeah. I don't think it's quite an 8. I think I definitely watch it. I'm not sure I'll watch it again, because I think I don't think you gain much from watching it a second time like you do some films.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it, and I'd recommend it.
I'd say I'd give it a say it's very warm, it's very nice. I would watch it again. I would, because I liked it. Credits rolled, and I thought, I liked that. That was really nice. Then there is a lot of symbolism in there. I personally understand why it won Best Cinematography. I thought the cinematography was insane. I thought it was amazing. I know it's a benefit to be in Montana. Just watching that, I was like, Jesus Christ, I need to go to Montana. ASAP.
The whole time I was thinking, that's a sick camping spot.
But it's got, there are a few bits and bobs in terms of just the flow and the pacing, and I feel it did lack that little bit of oomph, but I would give it a 7.3 out of 10.
What did you think about the resemblances between the older actors and the younger actors? Because I thought that was uncanny.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, man, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
It's first ever film.
I was going to send a picture. I took a picture of it because I was going to say to you guys, like, doesn't this kid just look just like Joseph Gordon-Levitt? And then I went on. I was so fucking flaked with curiosity that I paused the film, went on to his IMDb page, and scrolled all the way down to 1992, and I was like, fuck, it is him. And then I continued the film again. There was also another scene in the film, the cousin of, is it the cousin or the brother of the chick that
brother.
That sounds really crude, but yeah. He, in one of the scenes when he's in the car, I'll send it to you on WhatsApp, looks just like Brendan Fraser from The Mummy. The old Mummy show. Just like him, like the absolute spit of him.
And he had like a Charlie Sheen vibe.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
I also found Gub as well in the film somewhere, so I'll put that on WhatsApp. I took a picture because there's a kid in bottom hand corner of a frame who looked just like you, Gub.
You made it, Gub. Liam, what would you give it then? What score?
I'd probably echo Jem.
7.8.
Almost his exact thoughts, yeah. 7.8. Although I would say the lighting in that black tunnel when they went through the tunnel was like, did you see how lit they were on the side of their face when they went through that tunnel? And it's like a really dark black tunnel, like really far, underneath the ground, and they were like perfectly lit.
This is what I'm saying. Though cinematography was so good, and it had Robert Redford all over it as well.
I'll say it was bad. It was terrible in that
all
scene.
Over it.
But yeah, the rest of it was sick.
James, what would you give it?
I loved it. It made me cry. Not many films made me cry. I'd give it 8.1. I thought it definitely was as good as Good, Bad and the Ugly. Completely different way, but
what?
I absolutely loved it.
Mic drop. What?
Yeah,
I'm with you, man. It was a good film. Yeah,
that's the clickbait title for this link.
This Big Good, Bad and the Ugly didn't make me cry, but it's not a film that's meant to make you cry. That film.
That had me shivering. That film, the end scene.
Tom, what would you give it?
Robbins, you cried into
I'm torn. It's like, because I thought Brad Pitt was really good in it, so I don't want to give it like a scathing score, but I just found it, like 7.1.
7.1. So that's an overall rating that we've given it of 7.6. This is fair enough, I guess. It's fair enough. I personally feel it's a bit high, but each to their own. I mean, this is a collective 7.6. I think that's totally fair enough for A River Runs Through It.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you just took our little demographic now and just exploded it, I think that's probably where the split is for the overall population of people that watch it.
What is the rating, guy? On the
don't know. I've not had a look.
People who are indifferent.
I can only imagine how the book sort of plays with that theme of them all being the dad and Norman being poets, and it must be like an English teacher's dream come true to analyse that book.
Oh, I bet it's so much pathetic fallacy.
Yeah, so much symbolism. I can imagine the book is just completely that through and through.
Gub's been waiting for 3 reviews to say pathetic fallacy.
Buzz.
So it's
I'm gonna get a bingo card made up of English lit words and just wait for Gub to tick them off. It's pathetic fallacy.
So it's
pentameter. There it goes, fellas.
Tom's idioms and cliches.
It's so on IMDb.
Score.
IMDb 7.2 and its Metascore is 68. So
Rotten Tomatoes.
It's about right. It's
80,
about.
But
it's about a 4. It's about a 4-star film, isn't it? If you think about it that way, it falls into that very broad bracket, probably. I think 7.6 is fair enough. I think
it's a Sunday on Channel 5 kind of film.
Oh, savage.
That's a par, I feel.
Yeah.
I
think it's a bit better than that. But...
I'm going, 7.6, 4-star film, Sunday Channel 5 film.
All Tom needed to say the entire review was just that.
That would be my title if you two weren't on it. I'm just if you have you guys saying nice things, I'll be like Sunday Channel 5.
Should be a movie critic, man.
That's Gubs. That's his rating system. It's a BBC drama, prime time, 9 p.m.
terrestrial channel.
Yeah, if it makes it onto Boxing Day BBC, that's a good one. And then
8 o'clock on Sunday evening, Christmas Day.
Coronavirus Channel 5. You fucked it.
Oh, it's an ITVB, that one. That is.
Yeah.